is simply the best R&B all day. Take us everywhere. Your smartphone, in your car, to work, or live at KissWTLZ.com. We're Kiss 107.1.
You've been listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on Kiss 107.1. The views and opinions expressed on this show by the host, its guest, or call-ins do not necessarily represent the opinion of this station, the staff, its owners, connoisseur media, or its advertisers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen. So glad to be with you all on today. I am in the studio, and if you're watching via our social media stream, you see there's another tall, debonair, bald head brother that's on the other side of me. And we got Eric. Y'all know Twin Cuts. He's in the house. Eric, what's going on? Welcome to Straight Talk.
What's going on, Kareem?
Hey, man, so good to have you here today, especially with everything that's going on in the community. But before, I guess my producer is going to take a step out on me. I was going to give a shout out. But anyway, shout out to you, Matt. We call him AKA White Soul. What's good, man?
Hey, what up, dog? How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm good, Matt. You good?
Yeah, I just had to go run to the restroom real quick.
Okay, you handle your business, my man. We're glad to be with you all. It has been an amazing summer. So much has been going on this past weekend. Such a wonderful time. That's been a week ago now. Hearts in the Sky. Miss PG Time did her thing here in the city. Also, Latrice Thomas. Hearts and prayers are with you today. Today is the birthday of her son that we lost just a couple of years ago, Quincy Jones. To the entire family, to EJ, to Eric Sr., to all of those out there who love and were concerned and cared for him. My thoughts and prayers are with you all. I'm praying that this crazy thing that we call gun violence will find a way to end in our community. There is no space or place for this type of thing. So we've been doing pretty good over the course of the summer. Thoughts and prayers to all of the people out there who have lost loved ones. We did the Hearts in the Sky event, and it was an amazing event. So many people came out, but there is a lot of grief that our city is experiencing. So I want you all to know that we're loving on y'all. We're praying for you all. Family peer support over at HELP. Shout out once again for the candlelight vigil, ending in fireworks, and all of the great things. So many people came out and shared with that. To Carla Castellanos from Moms Demand Action, always showing up, Johnny on the spot for the community. We certainly thank you for everybody out there who is making the community a better place to be. I'm giving you your propers. Congratulations, proper. All right, now I do real quick before we get into the meat of our conversation. We're going to have one of our brother Angel Gomez who's going to be here, and he's going to talk about what's going down. I'd ask the question, like, what's happening? You know, we got people disappeared off the streets. I didn't hear the outrage. He's coming to tell me where the outrage is and what is happening with those workers that disappeared in Saginaw Township. Also, just, we're going to keep a heads up on this one. I did put a call in, as I told you all, to my man, Ben Crump. He's been on the show before. We're going to have him come in on the show. And we're going to talk about the case as much as he can because what happened with Nolan Wells, and that's what we're talking about. It's crazy because it could have been any of our kids, our children. And, it's been a long time. And, for a long time, folks would say, it's a rush to judgment, all of these things. Well, hey, if it quack like a duck and it walk like a duck, eventually we're going to say it's going to be a duck. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of people playing around in our faces and acting like this is normal. There are so many things that have happened that are not normal. If you're out there, I want you to like, tag, and share this conversation with anybody in your listener audience. Call your cousins up the street, your play cousins next door, let them know Straight Talk is on. All right, we're going to talk. Good. Shout out to my man, Jeffrey Bulls. Jeff, you are the first person that I see in the stream. I see other people on the other streams. But welcome here on, I think, our Facebook platform. So we certainly want to thank you for coming in and giving us your time. All right, now I want to talk a little bit with E. Eric, give us your whole government name for some of the people who said, that's my baby. He didn't give me his whole name.
My name is Eric Calhoun.
Eric, what? Eric who?
Calhoun.
Eric Calhoun?
Yes, sir.
All right, you said it all together, Eric Calhoun. I know you cool, my brother. But Eric, I just want to talk a little bit about you first of all. I know that you're a barber in the community.
Mhm.
So how did you get started in business? You are an entrepreneur, so shout out to entrepreneurs because entrepreneuring is hard work.
Yeah, it is. I just took the leap of faith, man, and did it.
So why barber? You did you always cut hair? Were you cutting hair in the basement?
Never.
How did you get in this particular?
My kid's mom, she's like, you need to do something. I'm like, okay. Like, 'cause I was working at Wolverine at the time.
Okay.
And she's like, you just need to do something. And then people was like I got cousins that cut hair. So I went to third shift and did it. And
so you went to third shift at Wolverine and then started taking classes for barber?
Yeah.
Man, that's this brother's hustle is real. And I'm gonna talk about that because he's got something else going on. I don't know if we can talk about a little bit about what you got going on right now too in your bag. But I love the fact that you were working one job while preparing yourself for something different. Let me ask you this question. When did you finally make the leap and say, listen, I'm going to trust my skills. I'm going to trust what I got? Because this wasn't something you were doing your whole life.
No, not at all.
But you were able to identify, hone in, and get the skills that you needed.
Yeah, I had, during COVID, I got real sick. And I was in the hospital and stuff and all that. And when I got out, I'm like, all right. So I started cutting hair. I'm like, all right. So I kept having my doctor take me off work. Like,
yeah,
we gonna see how this gonna how it's gonna work. And I was like seeing I was making more money cutting hair than I was going to work. So I'm like, then I had a homeboy. He always said, man, quit going to work, quit going to work. I'm like, no, because this is for sure money right here. So
right.
I go to work and then I get out of work and go cut hair. He like, man, stop going to work. Stop going to work. So when that happened, stop going to work.
So COVID was, and I told you, there was so many businesses that started in COVID. So COVID was one of those key places where you said, you know, I got to do something different. I'm going to finally make this happen.
Yeah, I was actually, my homeboy, Kendrick Rogers, him and Keandre Green had a barbershop on Hamilton. And I was working in there, and that's where I was at. And I would start doing it full time after I got out the hospital and stuff. And I'm like, okay, it's working.
Wow. And so what has been, there are so many people that listen to the show that are entrepreneurs. Shout out to my man, Jimmy Green. Man, grace and peace. You are on in my thoughts and prayers. I needed to get a hold of you. I heard you had a tough fall. Hope you're on the mend and everything is going well. I'll be in touch real soon, brother Jimmy. But I want to say this, E. So many entrepreneurs I talk to, and they are at that teetering place where they're making a little bit of money on what we would call a side hustle, because it's a side hustle until you really invest yourself into it. It's
gonna forever be a side hustle if you treat it like that, though.
Right. So what was the thing that they're at the point where they're making some money, and they got this guaranteed money. You know, it's hard. A bird in the hand beat two in the bush, right?
Yeah.
So they get at that place where they're teetering between what is and what could be. What was the deciding factor in you making the jump and say, listen, I'm going to bet on myself and make this happen?
When you an entrepreneur, you kind of have more time to, instead of like you go punch somebody's clock, you got to do what somebody telling you to do. You got to work down to just keep going.
So what was the thing that made you say, okay, I'm going to just do this?
Me getting sick, and when I went back, I'm like, all right, like let me do this. And it's crazy because I still held on to Wolverine. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna stay. Like I'm staying.
The benefits.
And then it's like, I'm like, no, I'm wasting time. Like
right.
I go on the weekend. I'm like, yeah, no.
And the craziest thing when you go to work and ain't nobody looking for you, ain't nobody checking for you, Otis. And so you're like, wait a minute, I could have been doing my own thing. Yeah. So you are now. What has been the major difference transitioning from working for someone else and doing this grind to really making your own passions and your dream come true? What has been the biggest change?
You just gotta stay disciplined, being disciplined. And like, I wake up every morning and be like, all right, I gotta go. Like now I'm going to school to get my.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
But just waking up and doing it and not, keeping that schedule for yourself. Like,
people don't realize that being an entrepreneur is actually more work.
Yeah.
The only difference is you're working and investing and building something of your own. So I shout out to you on making that decision, but you aren't stopping there. One thing that I love about you from the day that I met you is that your mind is continually thinking about what is the next thing. Yeah. I know you're doing all kinds of things. I know you dabble in the real estate and you got all of these things that you're interested in. you are embarking on something that we haven't had. The last person that I can really remember, I know there's some other people doing it, but I grew up and Carly McGill was she had like a beauty school or hair school or something of that nature. And so many people went through there. You are now embarking on a new endeavor. Let us know what it is that you got going on.
I went back to school to get my certification to be open up a barber school. I'm going to be a teacher and stuff. So it's like that's kind of challenging because
it's different.
Yeah.
But what's the vision? So you're going to become licensed to teach.
Yeah.
So what is the vision? What is? You don't have to give us all the vision, but just give us a big picture.
Barber school in Saginaw.
We're going to have a barber school in Saginaw.
Yeah.
Cranking them out in our own community.
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome. So I want to make sure not only do that we talk about what you're doing as an entrepreneur, but you're doing some amazing things as a community leader. And I tip my hat to you. I saw you out there, you and Sarah's restaurant. I can't remember my sister over there, but she be feeding me good pork chops. There you go, Kenya. I told y'all Sarah's was fire. I told you if you wanted the best pork chop in the city, you go to Sarah's, and then my man's gonna hook you up with the best pork chop. I went there one day to get pork chops. They said, "Man, we all out. We don't have no pork chops. You got to come early," because y'all agreed that it is fire. But you and Kenya literally were feeding the entire city on a project that you all were doing a little while back. What was the name of that project?
It's called Feed the Block.
Feed the Block, and y'all were giving out real meals, and I saw that. And I said, I love when community people get together, they partner and make great things happen.
It was another person too. He don't like to be named. He like to play the background.
Yeah.
Omar Linder.
Big you are no longer in the background. Great job. Big news.
Big O's.
Big O's. Big O's.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's my guy.
Yeah, no, he is. And he's doing it. He's multiple locations, but he's making it happen. Yeah. But I love seeing Black excellence in this city. I want to talk about this new thing that you put it out there. Hey, what's going on? Why do we have 50,000 different back to school events? Why can't we come together and be great? Let us be great. And so you came up with this concept referred to Stuff the Bus. We're going to talk about that when we come back from this break. Let's tag and share this conversation. Get some folks in here because there's still a week to make an impact and you can be a part of the answer. All right, sticks, they don't go away. We'll be back with more Straight Talk.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
Platinum Creations presents the first annual Southern Soul Lawn Chair Festival. Saturday, August 15th, 4 p.m. at 1940 South Outer Drive in Buena Vista. Starring TK Soul. I'm looking for a lady. Tony Armani. Tell me about what's wrong. Millie Travis. If I bag it up, what you gonna do? Miss Lady Blues and many more. Bring your own lawn chairs. Seats open at 3 p.m. Let's ride to and from the event. $40. Don't miss TK Soul. I wanna hold my baby. Tony Armani. Nelly Tiger Travis. Miss Lady Blues and more. Tickets are $50 general admission, $75 for VIP tickets. Tickets on sale at Platinum Event Center, The Music Planet, and Eventbrite.com. Or call 987-759-9191. The first annual Southern Soul Lawn Chair Festival. Saturday, August 15th, 4 p.m. at 1940 South Outer Drive in Buena Vista. See you there.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Rocket Grab Plus is your local go-to for great deals on services, food hotspots, local attractions, and so much more. Get half off on deals from Fran & Dot Boutique, I Love Frankenmuth, Clayton Cleaners, Applied Training Solutions, Saginaw Escape Room, plus many more local businesses. You can even check out upcoming deals that'll be featured soon. They'll make great gifts for any occasion. Get some for yourself and a friend. Go to RocketGrabPlus.com today.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code TALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and details.
There are important things in life that need to be planned out. Spending time with family and friends, getting to appointments on time, and voting. So make a plan to vote early in person before Election Day. All Michigan voters can cast their ballot in person prior to Election Day, August 4th. That means you can vote now. Early voting sites are open now through Sunday, August 2nd. Find your early voting site by visiting mi.gov/vote and selecting your voter information. Voting before Election Day is easy and convenient. That's why millions of Michiganders are expected to vote before Election Day. We know you're busy, so vote on your own time. Check your calendar and carve out a time to vote. Your vote is your voice, and your voice matters. There's so much on the line for our communities this election. Don't sit on the sidelines. Make a plan and vote in person before Election Day, August 4th. For more information on voting, visit michiganvoting.org. Paid for by Promote the Vote Fund.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-316-5454. That's 800-316-5454. 800-316-5454.
Are you about to mow the lawn? It's blazing hot out here. Smokey Bear says,
avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry. It's all on SmokeyBear.com because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
It's Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with more of Straight Talk. I'm here with E from Twins. He is a barber. He is starting up. He is in school as well to be to run his own barber school. He's getting ready to make it happen, but he's been doing some great things in the community. And we talked about it. He had made this clarion call to the community like, hey, let's come together. Let's see some community unity in what we're getting ready to do, which I told you collaboration is the name of the game. And so I went through the back channels like, yo, bro, what you got going on? And that communication had been going with him and other folks. And I mean, Latoya Baker is out there. Shout out to Latoya Baker. She is doing great things in the community as well. And so now you have this amazing idea, Stuff the Bus. You went and got a bus from shout out to First Student. And let's give a shout out to that individual who made that happen, because she made it happen really quickly.
Jamisha, that's who did it. It was like I want to say
it's done, right?
Yeah, like she said, give me 2 hours. I'm like, all right. She called me back within like 10 minutes. Like, hey, the bus there. I'm like,
yeah, you were like, hey, Kareem was getting ready to be there, and by the time we got there, they was parking.
Yeah.
So shout out to those community, and I always say this: when the community comes together, we have everything that we need. So this is happening. The bus is in place. If you guys have driven past, I know there was, we gonna say it was a mistake, but there was a report that the police department was actually collecting supplies for kids. No, that's not what that happened. But because the police department is a part of the community and it is a central vein throughout the community that is on Genesee there, we reached out. Police chief, thanks Ruth, said, hey, yeah, you can park it here. So they've been gracious to let us park it. But this is really community led. E has been the man bringing community people and resources and folks together to make it happen. The Stuff the Bus campaign is going. E, why don't you give us an update on how that's happening?
You just like if you want to make a donation or whatever it is, you just go get what you want to put on the bus, put it on there.
And when he says put it on the bus, he is so just unassuming. There is a bus that's there, and the door on the bus, there's a sign when you get there, right in front of the police department. Can't miss it on Genesee. But when you get there, you get out, you can actually put the supplies on the bus. There's cameras, so don't think you're gonna take no supplies. That ain't gonna happen. But you can go put the supplies on the bus. And all of these supplies have been accumulating. People have been donating. And then we will, at a later date, put these things together.
The 29th.
On the 29th of this month, which is August.
Yeah.
Now, this is August.
Yeah.
On the 29th of this month, right before kids go back to school, we'll be putting together and giving those supplies out to those young people who are in need. It is not too late to give. Tell them how they can give. Jimmy Green, who's out there with Second on Spirit, I know he's waiting to give. He says, how can I jump into gear and really support this? Jimmy, I thank you so much. You're such a supporter. Shout out to you and the Saginaw Spirit on all you do. But we're doing this for the kids. How can they donate?
You could just like I said, go to any store, get what you want to get, and take it up to the police department. Just pull the door open, walk on the bus, and bless a kid.
Yeah, so you don't have to give money. You can bring supply. Now, when we say supplies, we're not just talking about pencils and pads and notebooks and erasers. We're talking about that, but also we underestimate the things that are also needed when we talk about personal care items. And shout out to Ms. Davis over there at United Way, who said, hey, let me know how many personal care items you're going to need, and they will supply those items for our kids as well. So we're going to work that out as well. Okay. But we're looking at all those other things that you need, tissues and papers. If you've ever seen a kids or students list, the list is long. Schools are basically like, look, if he's going to be here for 9 hours, do he have to eat? Bring a snack. Does he wash his hands? Bring some sanitizer. Everything that your child would need at home, they're going to need in school. The schools hold on to those things. So let's make sure we take care of our kiddos. Love being voluntold. Jimmy, you my guy. I love you. You know I'm messing with you. But it's time for us to do lunch soon. Anyone else out there who would like to get involved, we have just to the end of this week. Is it Friday of this week?
Yeah, Friday. Probably Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday of this week.
They probably pick the bus up Monday. I got to get with.
Okay, so next we have 1 week to get this done. Get out. Let's make it happen. Like, tag, and share this conversation or the post. The flyer is out there. We'll put it on Straight Talk's page again so you can get it from here if you don't have it already. We want to make sure that this is great for our community. Community unity is the bomb. We don't even say that no more, but it's still the bomb. But we're excited about this happening. In addition to that, there's something else that you can also get involved with because we're blessing kids all kinds of ways. Yeah. Let them know about that.
We're doing an Adopt a Student program.
Adopt a Student program. All right, now tell us about that.
We just like kicking the school year off right for a kid. Some kids don't have it. Some parents don't have it. And, just like I said, we're going to Walmart. Walmart has a $3 table where the shirts are $3, the pants like $5, and we're just gonna go. Well, as I say, beat the table down for the kids. And
hey, we're gonna beat the table down for the kids, as my brother said. So if you're interested in either of these initiatives, what is your Facebook identity? What's your Facebook page? Give us your phone number and your email. Give it to us.
My Facebook is Twin Cuts. Phone number 989-372-5229.
Now, ladies, don't be calling him because he looking thin and debonair and that head is all bald and small and shiny. No, but this is about business, right? Yeah. All right. And then also that email.
The email is Eric Calhoun last name spelled CALHOUN 2008 at iCloud.com.
All right. So you got it right there. If you want to be involved with this community project, and what I love about what you're doing, Eric, is that you are making this a community project. You're like, hey, this ain't me. This is us. And so we want to make sure that the community knows. Go ahead. You were going to say something. But I was telling you, you're making this about the community. You're really pushing community.
Yeah, because I don't, like I said, it's no I in team, man. Like, if you're going to do it, just do it. Like, it's people playing the background a lot. Like Tamika, she's collecting a lot. She got a whole lot. And then I reached out to Elvin and Pastor Owens.
Pastor Elwin Owens. Yes.
Yeah, and a couple more people. I haven't reached out to everybody, but
now these people that you name, I'm going to tell y'all. To some of y'all, they may be new, but if those who know that these guys, Elwin, Tamika, they are always doing something in the community. They are not the faces that you see, but they are the hands and feet of many movements where kids are being blessed. And I certainly love this. Eric, that is one reason why I said, let's see how we can support what you're doing, because you made it really clear. Listen, we're not putting no brands. It ain't no labels on the flyer. There's no logos and all of that stuff. You said this is going to be community-led, community-driven for a community purpose. And I absolutely like that. This is stuff, the bus we're trying to get out there. We're also adopting a kid. The bus is over in front of the police station. Get out there. It is not the police station trying to trap you in the bus and get you. This is a real community event that we are pushing to make sure we take care of our kids. Nobody's coming with a cape on their back to save us. If we don't save us, we won't be saved. So I want us to all tap into this. Let's get it done as we continue to move forward. I'm going to take a commercial break. And when I come back, we're going to switch conversations. I'm going to talk to you. I asked and I gave an impassioned plea, and many of you all responded and put inboxes and things. On last week, a week and a half or so ago, we had 9 workers, and I don't know if they were undocumented. I don't know if they were migrant workers, immigrant work. I don't know what the situation was. We're going to find out exactly what's going on because they poofed and vanished. I almost thought I missed the rapture because nobody had said anything about it. But we're going to talk about it. We have Angel Martinez, who's here today. Angel Gomez. He leaned forward like, my name is Gomez. I'm sure there's an Angel Martinez out there, but you're not here today, Angel. But we have Angel Gomez here. He is representing the Hispanic Coalition with the Democratic Party. We're going to have him come in and we're going to talk about what is going on. What is the update? We're going to keep our ear to the pavement and make sure that we're looking out for all of us. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Grace and peace.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
Hello, this is Ed Bull, principal of Carleton High School. At Carleton High School, every Cavalier is encouraged to discover their passions through academics, arts, athletics, clubs, and service opportunities. Students benefit from advanced placement classes, dual enrollment options, award-winning arts programs, and caring teachers who support the whole child. It's all part of our commitment to helping every student succeed every day. I invite you to consider Carleton for your school home and experience the Cavalier difference by calling 989-753-3433 or visiting choosecarleton.org.
This summer, there are 250 reasons to join T-Mobile.
Girls trip? Booked. And switching to T-Mobile helped make it happen.
With Experience Beyond, switch and get $100 back. Plus, $650 in value in built-in plan benefits. That's $750 in your first year, guaranteed.
And honestly, that $100 back, I'm putting it towards the zip line.
Now that's how you do summer.
Exactly. Best switch I ever made.
This is just one reason to join T-Mobile this summer. There are 250 reasons. Find yours.
Savings based on the value of benefits included with Experience Beyond, like entertainment and 1 year of AAA Classic and Dash Pass on us. Benefits may require activation. See plan for details. Get $100 via virtual prepaid MasterCard with eligible ported, no cash access, and expires in 6 months. Issued by Sunrise Banks and a member FDIC. Allow 8 weeks.
RocketGrabClass.com.
Build the ultimate birthday party for half the price. Get a birthday party package at Little Builders Play Yard in Bay City. Normally $200, yours for just $100. Host up to 10 kids in a reserved party area with construction-themed party supplies, a happy birthday banner, and a keepsake for every child. Then let the fun really begin in Bay City's newest indoor play destination, featuring a giant indoor sandbox kids will love. Grab yours at RocketGrabPlus.com before it's gone.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
When you're vacationing in your RV, there are some things you can always count on.
taking the kayaks out on the lake, hot dogs on the grill, and your sister's boyfriend pulling out his acoustic guitar.
Everyone quiet! Harrison's playing. Wow, you're so good, Harrison.
With Progressive, your RV is protected 24/7, so you're prepared for whatever you don't see coming. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
On August 4th, it's time to vote for someone who'll make a difference for us. It's Haley Stevens, and Haley's not standing alone. Governor Whitmer is behind her. Jim Clyburn is behind her. And the Congressional Black Caucus have all endorsed Haley because she's been delivering for us. She's taking on the Trump corruption that's costing us all. She's standing up to Big Pharma to bring down our medicine prices. And Haley Stevens knows working families need somebody fighting for them in Washington, not for the lobbyists and billionaires. Because Haley is proudly middle class and the only candidate for U.S. Senate who's not a millionaire. If President Barack Obama trusted Haley Stevens to help run the auto rescue that saved 200,000 Michigan jobs, so should we. Vote on or before Tuesday, August 4th. Haley Stevens, Democrat for Senate. Paid for by A Stronger Michigan, which is responsible for the content of this ad. Stronger-Michigan.com. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Hey, it's Steve Harvey, y'all. Here's what happened on the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
I'm glad that they're gonna make that rule that you cannot be 25 years old still. But go on to the NFL. What is it? You 25, still in college. You got 2 kids. You got a mortgage. Go on to the NFL. You out here got health insurance. You married. You play football and mechanic. You got too many jobs. You don't even live on campus.
Dropping your babies off at daycare.
You then going to school. Then going to practice. You too old.
Kiss 107.1, simply the best R&B.
It's Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on Kiss 107.1.
This is Kareem. We're back with more of Straight Talk, and we have with us in the studio Angel Gomez, who is the Latino representative for the Democratic Caucus, correct?
Yes, for the Latino caucus.
For the Latino caucus, right, that are part of the Democratic Caucus. For the Latino caucus among the Democratic Party. There we go. Yep. I got it right. All right, but before we get to that, let's know. We're going to talk about that in just 1 second. But I have Amaya Bradley. She's going to remind us of something that is very, very important. Maya, what is it that we're going to talk about real quick?
Let's not forget this Tuesday is the election, our primary election. Let's be there. Polls open at 8 a.m. Let's be there and let's vote.
Now, Amaya, I said something when we were talking off. I pay attention and I try to be informed and I see what's going on. I don't know who. I'm not. Yeah. In terms of who I want to vote for, someone says Stevens, so you got to vote for Stevens, and there's you got to vote for Abdul. Well, Abdul has, my middle name was Kareem Jabbar. It was Abdul. My grandmother said he's not Muslim. Take out the Abdul, so I'm not just Kareem Jabbar. That's the connection I have there. And Stevens is just because I know there's so many people who are supporting her. Yes. Some are calling her the Democratic Party choice. Other people are saying that Abdul is for Medicare for all and all of these other things. I, as a black man, have some kind of issues. I don't know. I don't have any particular thought. But if you're feeling like I am, welcome to the party, because I really try to pay attention and still do not know what to do. But what's at stake for this coming primary on Tuesday?
So we have, I know, the Senate race going on. We have the governor race going on as well, the pushing for November. And then I know we have the city council going on as well.
All of these things are happening.
So I feel like I'm missing something. If I am, put it in the chat.
But what I'm saying, and what we often do, is we make the mistake of only voting for presidential campaigns when there's someone that energizes us personally.
Yes, and I tell people all the time, you have to look into local government, not just national government,
because it's it is what impacts you the most.
Yes, it does.
And as a trustee in the wonderful township of Saginaw,
yes,
I wanted to thank you for really making sure that we talk and we encourage people to get out the vote. What are you hoping things look like for this coming Tuesday? What does success look like to you?
Seeing everybody vote for real, but more so seeing it's a lot of young people that's able to vote now, and seeing them being encouraged to vote and knowing that their voice matters.
Well, this is what I want you all to understand. This election cycle, and it's been talked about on national platforms, the integral role that Michigan will play. Most folks don't realize that Michigan is what we call a bellwether. Michigan, but also particularly Saginaw. Saginaw County is a bellwether county, which means that it is an indication of which way things are going to go on a larger perspective.
Yes.
And so when we look at the direction of Saginaw, the way Saginaw County usually goes is usually the way that the elections go. And so it's important. We cannot take this for granted. This is not the time to have 16% turnout.
No.
20% turnout. We really need to push those numbers up. If you have not voted, hopefully the events over the past couple of years, it's only been 2 years, or has it been 2 years yet? Not even quite 2 years. Over the past year or so, should have given you every reason and motivation to get out and get energized to vote. Exactly. You thought your vote didn't matter before. We see what happens now. So let's get out, get the vote going. We have Angel, who's also here. He is a part of the Latino caucus within the Democratic Party. Angel, what would you like to say about getting out and voting?
So we need to get out and vote. It was a low turnout in 2024, so we need to add more in that turnout. It was only about 60%, I want to say, of the turnout. So if we were to reach that 70-80%, our voices are going to be heard. Now,
when you give that 60%, you're talking, and Jimmy Green, you're absolutely right. You cannot split your ticket. This is not that. This ain't that. Mm-hmm. You can't split your ticket in this particular voting cycle. When you say 60%, that number is registered for what? That is voting for what?
Registered voters is 60%.
For the county, right?
Yes.
But this is what I'm saying. When I talk to you about that 16%, I'm talking about precincts. I'm talking about some of our precincts where we're getting 16% turnout. We cannot have that happen. So we need to make sure that we are at the ballot. Take somebody with you. If you have not early voted, take somebody with you. Make sure that we get out and vote. When we vote, and we have to make sure that we saturate all of those precincts. No precinct is more important than the other. Let's make sure that we get those precinct numbers up to around 30. If we could do 30%, it would be amazing. So let's make sure that we are doing what we can to make an impact. And as I said, as Saginaw goes, usually that's the way other things go. I want to turn the remainder of this conversation. I reached out to you, Angel, because of what we have all experienced here in Saginaw. We have talked about issues with the border. We've talked about immigration in New York City, people being shipped, Democratic governors sending, or Republican governors sending folks as far as New York City and Maine and Martha's Vineyard, all these crazy places to disrupt the system. We saw this then take place in Chicago. And now we have seen like ICE agents, there was a threat of them coming out. I remember doing Cinco de Mayo a couple years ago. There was a threat like, hey, we're going to get out and see who we can arrest. And it turned voter turnout like super duper. I mean, marching turnout very low. We now have seen this in Saginaw County. When you heard about what was going on, was there any indication that that may be a problem in advance to this actually taking place?
No, it wasn't. On the day, it was July 25th, I was actually visiting my mother-in-law when I started getting community calls of workers disappearing. So I was able to make a contact that I knew that had a network of good faith Samaritans in the community that started getting out and trying to find if there's more ICE patrols, if they, how many people were going missing. And they were able to talk to the community and find out about 8. And then as the news broke, we found out that there was 9.
So and I was tripping because, you know, we see them in the community. We see them on the side of the roads, doing their work, minding their business, doing what they do. And I'm not going to lie, because of I know the America that I live in and everything that's going on in my mind and in conversations on the side, even with some of my Mexican friends, I was like, you know, it's only a matter of time before people start harassing these folks. So it was something. Black folks in America, we have a history. We kind of understand how this country works in a very different way than many other people that are here. Actually, when I say Black folks, about African American descendants of slaves, we are very different than any other population of Black folk. but that was a concern of mine. And then when I heard that, they were missing, it was 8. It just seemed like nobody was saying anything initially. And I was like, did the rapture happen? Like, people are disappearing and nobody's saying anything. So when you heard this, was there an initial groundswell of outcry that you were dealing with, and where are we now?
So there was an outcry. I've had a lot of community leaders reach out to me, and especially in the Hispanic community, trying to figure out what was going on. We have found out that these men were living in Saginaw County, and they were, doing their grocery shopping, everything like that. We have learned the timeline of what led up to the ICE coming into Saginaw and taking these 9 men. Unfortunately, we're still trying to figure out their names, and that's one big part.
Wow.
We've reached out to Representative McDonald Rivet. She needs those names so that way she can track them down as well. And it's been a very big community support. And a lot of people that I didn't expect to come out to support actually started coming out and supporting.
All right. So the stories, we piecemeal these things together. That's why I'm so glad and thankful that you're here today. So people are saying, oh, well, they were illegals and there was an accident, and the sheriff or the police chief in Zilwaukee called the feds and sent them. What exactly is going on? What do you know to be true that you can communicate to the community?
So there was a FOIA made by Breaking 989. Got some information about that car accident. It was a fender bender. The chief in Zilwaukee did reach out to Customs to identify this person because he could not identify this person through any database available to him, is what he said. And he released him with a citation. The gentleman went and paid his citation, lost his vehicle that he was driving, and then about 2 weeks later, ICE came in, picked him up, and picked up 8 other guys.
All right. Now, I know you're not in the game of speculating, but something just doesn't seem there. It doesn't appear, and I don't know. Maybe it's just me and my historical trauma that I'm dealing with, but it appears that to go from this one individual having in this exercise of the situation, we got 9 brothers is off the street. What's going on?
So it's how ICE is doing their tactics now. When they see one person, they collect the whole bunch. They were provided information where this gentleman was living. And it's not much to come and see where they were working, what company they were working for, following them to the job site, and then just picking up all the guys that were there.
Okay, so let me ask this question, because to me there is something else that we need to address, and I got to ask a couple questions because many folks who are in the Black community are saying, listen, we tried to tell you. Y'all that messed around and found out. We tried to tell you not to vote for this man. And we look at the number of folks in our community who voted for this administration. What do you say to Black folks who saying you done messed around and found out? We told y'all.
I would say that there's a large amount of Hispanic Latinos that voted against this man just as much.
Yeah. Okay.
I voted for Kamala Harris myself. And it's our history that kind of divvies that up. When in Texas, when they told they had to desegregate the schools, they desegregated the Mexican American schools with the Black schools, and so said we desegregated. Well, then you start putting in this mindset of, oh, they're white because we desegregated these classrooms. The colonizers from Europe, from Spain,
who?
The colonizers.
The who?
The
colonizers. I know what you're saying, my man. Go ahead.
Yep. From Spain came over and brought those ideas that white was better. And they did the same thing in Mexico and Latin America, just like they did here in the United States. And so that mindset is hard to break. However, and I would say this, I was taught that solidarity with the union, with the UAW, was a huge thing. We came together as family at that point.
Okay. And when you say we, who are you talking about?
Latinos, African Americans, whites, we were able to come together as a family.
Absolutely. Jimmy Green, you're absolutely right. He said, call it what it is, profiling. All right. So I get that. And I've had a conversation with you, and I've talked with other leaders in the Hispanic community. And I'm a person, I think that we have to have real conversations, right? I don't think that I don't want to see anybody get picked up and taken away. I do believe in immigration. I do believe that we should be a nation of laws. I do believe that immigration should work for brown communities and black communities and red hair communities and blonde hair communities as well. We tend to forget that there are a whole bunch of migrant folks who look blonde hair, blue eyes that are not naturally here, and they are never a part of the conversation, including, I think, First Lady Melania Trump was also an immigrant that got a special visa. I think she's over on like an Einstein visa or something, which means you have to be really smart, and I think she was a supermodel. No cap. I'm telling you the truth. And so when we look at these things, I think it's important, and not that we can. I think that we need to be a nation where we allow immigrants to come in, and I think that when we have the best that people can offer around the world, it is what makes America America. At one point, everybody here was an immigrant, right?
Right.
Except for those people that were already here when Christopher Columbus thought he discovered America again. But when we look at this and we look at the coalition that you were talking about, you mentioned just then about selling the ticket of whiteness, and that is a real issue. And I'll say this. There are folks in the black community who bought a whiteness ticket who thought that white was right. And they have began to assimilate a culture because they thought that was better. One of the issues that we have, and when I say we, I'm gonna say me, one of the issues that I have with the brown community, and you tell me how you feel about it, is that many of them come over and there is this whole replacement theory that we're going to be the best minority. Do you understand what I'm saying? And many of them come over, and because they are lighter, they can pass. So there is this assimilation to whiteness. There is this ability to pass that they experience. And then when things happen, they receive all of the benefits that African Americans have been able to fight for. They receive all of the pleasures and all of those things, but then they lose the fact that those pleasures come because of that coalition. I need you to speak to that particular thing, and is that a problem in the Hispanic community as well?
It is a problem, and we notice that. Kareem, you can look at me and you can say I can pass as white, but even in a room full of white people, they point me out. I grew up in Chesney, and I went to Chesney schools. My name is Angel, but everybody just calls me Angel. And when I was going through high school, they would call me Angela or Angelo, and they would add letters to my name. So it is a problem, but they have no problem reminding us that we are not the same.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to get through our head is right now they're treating some of us as if we are the same, but we are not the same.
Well, and whenever it comes to voting blocks, we will be the same.
Yep.
We're voting. We come in. Yes, you're one of us. And then as soon as the votes pass, we find out where we actually fall. I need you to help me understand something. When I look at this, and it's sad, right? I think that one of the very most important coalitions that we were able to build together was the coalition with Black folks and the Latino community, Latinx, Hispanic, whichever you find yourself in, and however you define yourself, because y'all got more divisions than Black folks do. We all, we don't know who we are. We African, but I define myself as a Black man. All right. I identify as a Black man. So when we look at these coalitions, how do we begin to get past you done messed around and found out and, we want to be this, to really get back to coalition building? Because I think that is very important. Going into this election, we need to be in a place that we understand that we're better together. And that if we don't like each other, or even if we want to replace each other, we need to find a place to work together. How do we begin that process?
So the first step I would say to understand an attack on one person's rights is an attack on all our rights.
Right.
And that's what we need to understand. So if an attack on my right is an attack on your right, an attack on your right is an attack on my right. So that's that first step. The next step is being able to support each other as much as possible. Whether that means if they're out there protesting and you feel the urge, you feel the energy, that anger comes in, you want to go out there and protest, go out there and protest. I have found a lot of brothers and sisters that are allies with us, but they don't feel like they're being supported right now because we're not out there protesting. I have a group of people that come to me that protest every night in front of the courthouse, and they're told, like, you're hurting the community. Nobody wants you out there. You're just causing a ruckus. But then you go out there and you watch, and you'd be surprised how many people of color are sitting there honking their horns and holding up a fist, and they're standing there in solidarity and showing them support.
Hey, I'm going to say this. How it happened in the beginning, Black folks got right, Latinos got right, the natives got right, indigenous folks got right, and then women. I think that it happens the opposite way as well. So the same thing that we're saying, I think, can happen in reverse. I think, and this is always my thing, this nation has a real issue with color. Race and then color, they both go together. Jimmy, I never considered Black folks as immigrants either. When I have that conversation, I'm never talking about us. We, those who are descendants of slaves, fall in a very unique category. But what I'm saying is that, so right now, I think the conversation has much been about, and I hate the term illegal immigrants, but we talk about undocumented workers is a more a term that I like to use. We saw it happen in Chicago. When it happened in Chicago, I'm like sitting there like, whoa. Like the neighborhoods and the communities that they're happening in, these people are not, they're not brown folks, they're Black folks. And how many Afro-Latinas do we have that exist? And the connection between the two communities and the relationship that we've had. Most of us have Mexican folks in our family, Black folks, like they're so connected that it's almost impossible to keep Black folks out of the situation when it begins to infiltrate our neighborhoods.
Yeah, and part of that too is as they come into our neighborhoods, they are scooping up American citizens.
Yeah,
and they're saying, I'm an American citizen. I remember one time last year, a Marine was saying, I'm a Marine, I'm a U.S. citizen, and they didn't care. They have no problem calling our papers fake, and if it's starting with us, it's eventually going to trickle down to Black people as well.
Well, let me ask this question. So these individuals that came, we don't even know who their names are. We don't know if they were American citizens. We don't know anything about them. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
So we got some brown folks who out there working, honest living, scooped up and taken away because there was a call that took place. And y'all need to check y'all counties and y'all township, because I'm telling y'all, there are more people that support these shenanigans than you might believe. And there's a reason why ICE wears masks. And the Klan wore masks, and it wasn't because of public shame, but it was because they didn't want people to know that when you came, the judge that you sat in front of is the same judge that was burning the cross in front of your house. So there's a reason why ICE, and people say, well, because they don't want people to call them and to threaten them and to be outed. I think that is a certain number of them, but there's a lot of them that are wearing because they have jobs and things that they're doing in our community. You cannot believe me if you don't want to. Sleep long, sleep wrong. But as we look at where we're going, these people disappeared. We don't know if they were legal, or if they were documented, undocumented. We don't even have their names. How is it possible that these individuals can be taken? Because they were working, right?
Yes.
So surely their employer should have information concerning these men.
So with immigration and employers information, it's kind of really dicey. Unless they come out and start telling us what they want, they can keep it quiet as much as they want. Last year, Coca-Cola had fired all their undocumented workers and then called ICE on them. And that's where the Latino community started boycotting Coke. So a lot of these employers, they're held responsible too, but they don't get held responsible. They're allowed to operate as normal.
Well, I think that's a problem for us because for me, because I think that we can chase down these individuals and act like they crossed the border and did something, heinous or whatever. But the fact of the matter is you got free labor from them.
Yep.
And so we have to begin to hold these companies. You can't get free labor. You can't get cheap labor. You can't get the hard work and the effort. And then when things get caught, your hands are clean. You keep the profits, so you should be willing. Also, you should be held accountable for your part in how this happens. And when we begin to find that kind of equity in prosecution is when we will begin to find some semblance in terms of how people are being treated all around, and companies really standing up and fighting for individuals that they consider a vital part of the workforce. So moving forward, is there something that people can say if they're interested in getting involved, if they're interested in saying something about what's happening, voicing their opinion or concerns? How do they get a hold of you?
So you can look me up on our Facebook page, the Latino Caucus of Saginaw County Democratic Party. There's an email there. Also, there's a Saginaw Bay Rapid Response. There's a hotline there that you can call in case you see ICE activity. But the most important thing to do is get out and vote. That's how these chiefs are held accountable by these boards. That's how we elect leaders that are going to represent us and that are going to listen to us.
Yeah, so I think that those things are very, very important. Everything that we talked about. And for those of you who are listening and saying, well, Kareem, if they're illegal, you're absolutely. Did you know that they were illegal? In New York, they used to have something called stop and frisk that was in Black communities. And what would happen was they would stop you, frisk you, and then when they found something illegal, they would prosecute you. But the fact of the matter is you were being profiled in the process of doing so. And that means that we now have government entities and law enforcement entities that are interfering with folks' peaceful enjoyment of being a citizen of this great nation. So what I'm saying by that is profiling has never been okay. It is not okay. I think that we should be a nation that has a pathway to citizenship, which I think that all of us, I think that most of us agree. But I think that profiling individuals and setting up these shops and stings when people are really paying tax, people don't realize how much in taxes these individuals pay. When I say these individuals, I'm talking about these undocumented workers that come in and work here and the service that they pay to our community. Hopefully we get these things worked out. Make sure you keep us informed of what's going on. Is there anything last that you need to say before we close out?
Yeah, one other thing I would say is that they're testing these beliefs. The Supreme Court ruled that immigration is okay to profile by the color of our skin. And that's that first step to start moving towards being able to profile anyone because of the color of their skin. We need to get involved.
We already know what that's like to be driving while Black in America. We don't want that to happen. Certainly, thank you, Angel, for being with us on today. I hope you guys get out and vote. The important role that voting plays in this and next election. And Saginaw, we need to show up and turn this mother out. I hope you guys have a great weekend or a great rest of your week. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. Grace and peace.
You've been listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1. The views and opinions expressed on this show by the host, its guest, or call-ins do not necessarily represent the opinion of this station, the staff, its owners, connoisseur media, or its advertisers.
KISS 107.1 is WTLZ Saginaw with Steve Harvey in the morning and simply the best R&B all day. Take us everywhere. Your smartphone, in your car, to work, or live at KISSWTLZ.com. We're KISS 107.1.